What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. It is Tuesday, January the 16th, 2018. My name is Clay. This is Third Thoughts. I am your host, and I am here with the Chief himself, but not in the flesh. For the very first time, in Third Thoughts history, we are doing a call-in show.
I'm live on location.
On location, boots on the ground. Chief is not in the studio. Chief, you want to explain a little bit about where you describe your surroundings for us?
I'd rather not.
You'd rather not disclose your location.
Right.
Okay.
I'm afraid the audience may swarm to me since I'm not secured.
Yeah, it's possible.
Live on the air.
It's possible. So, listen, this is a first for us here at Third Thoughts. We've never done this thing before. So we got the Chief piped in through Skype. And so if there's any difference in audio, if the noise bothers you or anything like that, please let us know. We'll figure out how to make it better. But this is what we're rolling with today because this is the way the cards have fallen. And it's going to be good. Remember, you can always hit us up on social media at Third Podcast. The email is thirdpodcast@gmail.com. And so, yeah, I think this kind of opens it up too, Chief, that since we're using Skype now and there's a Third Thoughts Skype account, we'll be able to take some call-in interviews.
Oh, yeah.
Not just from when one of us is missing, but from actual listeners. So we can be a real podcast soon.
I think what we should probably do is have like a Hollywood correspondent and have my wife pick the one Kardashian story per week, because there's at least one per week, and have her call in and help us keep up with the Kardashians.
We probably should do that. That would be great. Speaking of the Kardashians, that's a great, I'm going to open the show this way. I know I told you I was going to open it differently, but speaking of the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West welcomed their third child, today, I think. And this is the interesting thing about I know you don't particularly care about this kind of stuff too much, Chief.
It was yesterday. It wasn't today.
Was it yesterday? Monday.
I have the Kardashian Pro here with me.
Oh, it was Monday. It says Monday in this article.
Yeah. Listen. Hold on. We're getting the details here.
Let's get the scoop.
It was a little girl, 7 pounds, 8 ounces, healthy, happy, and they're excited.
There it is.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this, though, is they had this child via surrogate mother.
Yes.
So, how
rented uterus.
Rented uterus.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that, Chief? I mean, I don't know much about that. Like, I don't even know how it works, but it just seems like a really odd thing to do.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here's the deal. This is what I think. I'm going to be corrected here if I'm wrong. I'm sure, but
yeah.
Let me just let our professional Kardashian correspondent tell us why. See, this is working out perfectly. This is why the baby. this is why the baby was in a rented uterus.
Yes.
Hey guys, this is Angie, and I'm Pastor Steve's wife. But sorry, but the thing is, at first everyone thought because she didn't want to gain weight, right? That's what you think first thing.
Sure, that's what I think. Yeah.
If you watch the show at all, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Sunday at 8:00.
Oh my
then
gosh,
you would know.
We got to get paid for that.
You would know that her first 2 pregnancies with North and with Saint, she had placenta previa, which is life-threatening. And actually with her second baby, she had to go in the hospital because it actually detached and she almost lost her life delivering Saint. So the doctors recommended that her not have any more children, and they want more children, so this is how they chose to go. This is the route they chose.
I'm down with that. I mean, that seems like a legitimate reason. But how does that make you feel, though? I mean, can you imagine having a child birthed by someone other than you, and like it's yours, right, biologically.
It
but
it was her deal and his deal mixed together and then put in this rented uterus.
Right. It's yours biologically, but I just can't imagine. That's got to be
It's
just a
hard
surreal
on
feeling.
the mother that carried the baby, I think, because you have to have so many contracts to make sure this mother doesn't, go back on her word or try to sue for this baby. So I'm sure there were massive amounts of lawyers and paperwork involved so that would not happen.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm
Yeah,
sure.
right. How does that even work? I mean, it's not really her baby. It's like it's Kim and Kanye's baby. I mean, not even contractually, but I'm talking about biologically.
Mm-hmm.
That their DNA mixed together to create this child. This lady just carried the baby. It's kind of like Uber for birth. You just like use it for just a while to get to the destination.
Right.
And that I don't think she would have any rights to the baby.
No, I wouldn't think so. I'm more thinking, you guys are talking more about the legal side of it. I'm thinking more of like an emotional standpoint. I mean,
would you love the baby the same? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's just so odd. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like if you choose to adopt, like you kind of make, that's a process, and you make the decision, and you understand that it's not yours, but you're all in on that because you're choosing to adopt this child. But surrogate's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's weird. Maybe not. Maybe it's a normal thing these days, but I can't imagine.
I want to know how they picked it.
Pick the surrogate mother?
Yeah, I want to know the process that they went through to pick the surrogate mother.
Well, now,
because, I mean, that they only drive the best, they only buy the best. I wonder how you go about finding the best uterus for your child.
Well, there's a rumor going around that it might have been Kylie Jenner.
No.
That was the rumor, that she supposedly went into labor a few days ago, but then that came out as false. Now Kim and Kanye had their baby a few days later.
Yeah,
so
it's not.
Somebody says some elaborate cover-up conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I wonder if my wife has heard that one. I don't know.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. But speaking of false alerts...
yes.
Speaking of false alerts, let's talk about this a little bit, Chief. Hawaii had that missile alert system, right?
Right.
And they sent out a false alert on Saturday morning.
Yes.
And everybody was up in all their emotions, all their feelings about it, because they think, okay, there's a missile headed for us. It's inevitable. We're going to die. There were text messages sent to family members, friends who were not on the islands saying things like, I love you. These kind of final messages people were sending. Turns out there is no missile, and someone just made a mistake.
Right.
So you seem to be pretty informed on the story. Do you know exactly what happened?
Yeah, so basically what happened is they were getting ready to change shifts because somebody sits and monitors this thing.
Right.
So if the alert comes, there's a missile, somebody is in charge of sending this out. So at each shift change, when you go off and when the other person comes on, they actually go through the process and they have a test in which they do. Okay. Right. So the test is basically they click on this button on a computer screen. Now, we're not talking about high-tech, sophisticated stuff. It's a mouse click.
Yeah.
And then it pops up and says, are you sure you want to send this message?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of clicking no, because the process is you click no,
right,
the person clicked yes.
Yes.
So that's all it was. It was just a misclick. And what happened is they never thought about having a false alert, so they did not have a screen to go to that said disregard. This was a false alert. They had never typed that in and set it as part. Now, and I'm sure this person only knew how to click the button. They didn't know how to go in and write new programming.
Right.
So now they've alleviated that, because now there is a button that says false alert, please ignore.
Yeah. Well, you think, I really am surprised that wasn't built. There was no fail safe, like there's no, oh, we messed up button. You would think that would be like a required part of the software. Yeah,
it seems like it would be like, okay, you hit the button. Are you sure you want to send this? Yes. Are you sure you want to send this?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, here's the deal. What if it was real, though?
Exactly.
If it's that easy to mess it up, I mean, in the case of something real, what do you do if you're in Hawaii and you get that message, Clay? I'm just going to ask this question.
Sure.
What is the last thing you would want to do? You get this alert. You've got, say, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Okay.
Before the missile hits.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Geez. I guess, what most people did, I would probably try to get in touch with those I love and care about. And, I guess reassure them that it will be all right eventually. It's obviously going to be tragic, obviously be terrible for that kind of thing to happen. But, I think that if you got 10 minutes, that's a really short time window to be able to contact all the people that you'd want to contact. So I guess I would do that. I know that seems sort of generic. I think most people would do that. But now, if I was in Hawaii and that happened, well, first I would kind of want to know what I was doing in Hawaii, because surely there would be something fun to do for those last 10 minutes, right?
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I mean, something like maybe dive off a cliff into the ocean or something. And
well,
at that point, I mean, does it matter?
I'm going to kiss my wife, tell her I love her. If my girls are not with me, but if I'm in Hawaii, let's face it, my girls are going to be there.
Yeah, well, that's probably a vacation. Sure.
Yeah. So I'm telling them I love them, and I'm going to drink one last Mountain Dew, because I don't think there's Mountain Dew in heaven.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink one last Mountain Dew, and then it's Hawaii, dude. I mean, I'm just gonna look at the ocean. Probably would go Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And watch the missile come in, because that would be some pretty cool footage that maybe I would get some likes even after my death.
Posthumous clout.
Yeah. Posthumous likeness.
Internet clout. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that. It's just something interesting to think about,
No, it is. And here's, I'm going to double down here on this story.
Okay. Yeah.
Because this came out today.
Now, hold on. If I was here and that happened,
yeah,
I'm probably going to kiss my wife goodbye, tell her I love her.
Uh-huh.
Tell my girls I love them.
Yeah.
And probably wish I was in Hawaii.
There you go. So either way, you're having the vision of the ocean.
Right.
Whether it's real or imagined, that's how you're going out. That's not a
probably.
That's a peaceful way to go.
As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go bookmark a picture of Hawaii.
Pull just it up on your case. Computer.
Yeah, so if I get that alert, I can pull it up on my computer and see it right before I die.
Wow.
Yeah.
So check this. This came out of Tokyo. Japanese national broadcaster NHK issued an on-air apology today, after issuing an alert incorrectly claiming that North Korea had launched a ballistic missile.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. The message, received by phone users with the NHK app installed on their devices, read, NHK News Alert, North Korea likely to have launched missile. The government J alert, evacuate inside the building or underground. So, just a couple days after Hawaii botched this up, the same thing happened in Japan.
It really makes you wonder what's happening behind the scenes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes you wonder if maybe Kylie Jenner did carry Kanye's baby.
That's what I was thinking.
You know, just
but listen to this. Let's just chase this rabbit. Okay,
sure. Let's go.
I'm reading the headline right now.
Yeah.
McMaster holds clandestine North Korea powwow with Japanese and South Korean counterparts. So right now there is a secret meeting happening with the National Security Advisor,
okay,
McMaster, and South Korea and Japan. It's supposed to be a secret meeting. I don't know how Fox News became privy to the secret meeting. If you're going to let Fox News know, it's kind of like it's not secret anymore.
Yeah.
But we do know that no liberals are aware of the meeting because they don't read Fox News.
Right.
So, yeah, and it is okay. Let's see.
Well, it does. It makes you wonder.
No. This is about the Winter Olympics.
Okay.
It has no effect on North Korea leader Kim Jong-un's nuclear weapons program, the source said.
Okay.
So this is It's
just strictly that's a sports meeting. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, still, I mean,
but other breaking news from my favorite person,
sure.
Kim Jong-un. He is sending his favorite girl band as part of the art troupe from his country. His favorite girl band is going to be going to South Korea as in part of the art troupe sent from North Korea.
His favorite girl band.
Yeah, I guess like we have boy bands.
Mm-hmm.
They have girl bands.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know.
So I guess it's like North Korea's version of the Spice Girls.
Okay, I'm with you. Gotcha.
The Jong-un girls. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess they only had 2 athletes, right? So you got to send somebody,
right? Maybe they're called the Atomic Girls.
Maybe that would be appropriate.
Yeah,
interesting.
Or maybe they're just called malnutrition.
Nutrition.
Malnutrition.
That's pretty messed up, actually. Geez, I don't even know how to segue out of that.
I've got a segue. Segueing out of that, there is a very disturbing story. Disturbing story that I have found here. And
sure.
There are a couple of parents that have been arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In California, after their 17-year-old daughter escaped from their home.
Yeah.
Okay. And went and told police that her brothers and sisters were being held in their home by their parents. So police go to the home and raid the home, and they find 12 kids between the ages of 2 and 29.
Oh, wow.
Shackled to their beds in dark, foul-smelling rooms.
Wow.
So it's like the movie People Under the Stairs, only in real life.
Oh, my gosh.
And no stairs.
That's horrible.
Yeah. But here's the thing. They're highly malnutritioned.
Mm-hmm.
When the 17-year-old went to police and told them, they thought she was 10 years old. She was so emaciated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So here's something. Here's what's even worse.
Okay.
They say that God called them to do it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're saying that God called them to this, that this is a call of God. Now, that's as far as I know about that. They haven't gone into a lot of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, these kids, malnutrition, their bodies just deteriorated. They had no idea how old these people were because they were so small.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, and
12 kids chained to their beds, obviously not taken to the bathroom because it smelled bad. It was dark. And they're blaming their mental instability on God.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. If you want to be an idiot, go be an idiot, but don't blame it on God.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just say, hey, I decided I wanted to be an idiot today.
Yeah, or for them, for a long period of time.
Right. Now, I don't think that the 29-year-old was chained to a bed for 29 years.
Uh-huh.
This seems to be something that started maybe 2010 or 2012.
Jeez, we're still, I mean, that's a long time, bro.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So how does that, yeah, are you sure, where's that story at now? Like, what's the next step?
Well, the parents are in custody right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, but here's another thing about the story. It says that the mother seemed completely perplexed as to why the police would come to her home.
Like, she didn't see anything wrong with what she was doing?
Correct.
Oh my gosh. How do you end up that way? How do you get so mixed up in your head?
I have no idea. I have no idea how someone comes to that place.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they say, what their, testimony is.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, what can you possibly say to explain that?
I can't even bear to put my kid in timeout.
Yeah, right.
Much less chain them to a bed and leave them there starving. Give them just enough food and water to keep them alive.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't even you were talking about your dog right before we started the broadcast, how she was bugging you.
Let's don't go too far.
But you wouldn't even do that to your dog.
No, I wouldn't starve the dog to death.
Exactly.
No, absolutely not. There are moments. There are brief, fleeting moments that I think I possibly could like the dog.
Oh, really?
They're brief, fleeting moments. But yes.
Yeah. They're are they few and far between, or are we talking about like a cluster of moments?
It's never a cluster of moments. It's just an occasional moment, maybe once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I mean, a handful of moments over the dog's existence.
Okay. That's better than none.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I hate to be a downer, but another disturbing story. Have you heard about this out of Cape Town? So Cape Town is apparently in like the worst drought. There's been 3 years of a drought in South Africa, in Cape Town specifically, and they have less than 90 days worth of water left in their reservoirs.
Really?
And it would be the first major city in the world to actually run out of water. And it's supposed to happen on April 22nd. And it's called Day Zero. And that's when it'll basically run dry. As far as it can. And then it'll have to be like the government's going to have to step in, and once it gets to the reservoirs get to a certain percentage of water left, that has to be regulated like extremely, so that hospitals and essential functions get water, but nothing else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, my question is, why wait till you get there?
Yeah, well,
let's go ahead and put some. Yeah, you put some stringent regulations in now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hire a buttload. I'm talking like the scientific number, a buttload.
Yes.
A buttload of tanker trucks to start bringing in water.
Mm-hmm.
And you get some really big drills. I mean, I heard they make these things.
Okay.
And you start drilling wells.
Mm-hmm.
And find some water somewhere. Instead of waiting, I mean, to me, there's some solutions here.
Yeah, so
Cape Town, isn't that on the coast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, are you looking at a map?
No, I'm not looking at a map, but it is.
I'm not looking at a map either, but I think Cape Town is on the coast.
Mm-hmm.
So how about this? How about let's go buy some big desalination units?
Yeah.
Start desalinating some water.
And you got to wonder if stuff like that is, I don't know. You got to wonder if this is just a lack of preparation, or we really underestimate the power of a drought that lasts 3 years. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe we overestimate people's intelligence.
Perhaps.
Maybe we think that people would think of that.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they're all just sitting around thinking, wow, man, we're almost out of water.
Well, yeah. Well, here's what this says. They're working on some like self-imposed kind of limits to water usage. So each household, the city has capped household usage to 87 liters, which is 23 gallons per person per day. So that means showers last less than 2 minutes. You can't water the garden or wash the car. You can't flush the toilet unless you absolutely have to. You're recycling water, and you're limiting dishwashing and washing clothes. So this is apparently already going on, these limits, but it's not really working. This says, according to city statistics, only 54% of residents are hitting their target. And so this day zero was moved forward, so it's earlier than they thought it was going to be. It says city planners have long pointed out that Cape Town's water capacity hasn't kept up with population growth, which has nearly doubled over the past 20 years. Still, a 3-year drought on this scale is a once-in-a-millennium event, says climatologists. So I think it's a combination of things, Chief. I think we're dealing with just one of the most serious droughts ever, I guess.
Right.
And also a lack of planning for a city that has grown twice the size it was 20 years ago. And that's a huge boom in population.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just kind of a perfect storm, if you will. But definitely thoughts and prayers to Cape Town, because I can't imagine having to limit yourself like that, and not, we just don't live in a place where that kind of thing happens.
But here's the thing, Clay. If that's the case,
mm-hmm.
Why not right now just say, okay, nobody bathes?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to stink, but nobody's going to know.
Because everybody smells, right?
Everybody's going to be smelling that way. You're talking about survival, okay?
Right.
And then divide. I've got a strategy here. I mean, I'm solving their problems right now. That you need to get the government on the line. Then what we're going to do? We're going to divide the population into
mm-hmm.
7 parts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're going to have the Sunday part, the Monday part, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday.
Okay.
I'm going to open the beach for the Sunday guys on Sunday.
Okay.
They can go down to the ocean and wash off in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And then next Sunday they can come back and wash off again.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, that way you don't get the whole city, down and trying to bathe in the ocean.
Yeah, it's just a rotating ocean bathing.
Rotating ocean bathing, correct. Okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna also, so if you're on the Sunday day,
mm-hmm.
okay, and you go down to the ocean to bathe,
yeah,
while you're there, I'm gonna hand you, while you're there, each person, you're gonna go as a family.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to hand you a $3.99 case of Nestle water.
Mm-hmm.
Compliments of the government.
Okay.
And that should last you for your drinking water. Family of 4, you get 4 cases of water. Or not even per person, just say per family.
Yeah.
That should last you 4 or 5 days. And then you drink water out of the spigot. Spigot. I don't know if they have faucets over there or if they have spigots.
Surely it's faucets.
So, and then you get, but listen, I've solved their problem.
That's it.
And
so if anyone from Cape Town is listening, you should take this to your city representative.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call all of the pastors.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to put them together and ask them to pray for it to rain.
Yeah.
What we could actually see here is we could have like the duel of faiths.
Okay.
And we could have all the Christian pastors pray one day.
Okay.
The Muslim clerics pray another day, and see which day it rains.
This is a proper Old Testament showdown then.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That would definitely be interesting. Yeah. Lots of crazy stuff going on in the world. I think
oh no, bro.
I kind of want to break it up a little bit because we've had a couple kind of downer stories in a row. So I want to.
But I fixed that one, so that's not really a downer anymore.
Well, yeah, but that's provided that they take your advice, that they hear your advice and then take it and put it into action. But let me ask you a question, Chief. Let me ask you a question that I didn't know I was going to be so occupied with until I read it today.
Okay.
So in the near future,
yes,
most cars,
yes,
will be self-driving in some capacity. Okay.
I don't believe that.
All right, but it's on its way. So whether you accept it or not, it's coming. So when we get there, okay, we get to that point, and two self-driving cars get into an accident. Who is at fault?
The idiot that decided that we were all going to drive self-driving cars.
But no, okay. But let's just say, we're just accepting that this is where it's going. It's happening. They
already tried. They already tried this.
Mm-hmm.
They had a self-driving shuttle bus in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it stayed online and worked for a whopping just under 2 hours before it had its first accident.
Yeah. But the Google car drives around, right?
Listen, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. And the reason it's not going to work is because that means everybody has to buy one of these self-driving cars.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're saying that the government is going to make me buy a self-driving car.
No,
I don't even want the government. I don't even want the government. Well, no, it's everybody for it to work. For it to work properly,
you're saying
has
for this to
have
even
one.
be feasible, everybody has to have a self-driving car.
Right, because all it takes is someone in a non-self-driving car to swerve, and it throws everything out of kilter.
Well, surely they've thought of that, right? You got to have sensors and cameras, and they have to be able to respond to emergencies some way.
Sure, but is it going to be intelligent?
It'll have to be. It'll have to be some sort of AI.
Because, you're driving down the road. It's a ridiculous scenario, but what you're talking about is ridiculous as well. A ridiculous scenario. You're driving down the road.
Mm-hmm.
There's a car coming towards you. It swerves into your lane.
Yeah.
Okay? It swerves into your lane. Right behind the car that swerves into your lane is a transfer truck. Okay. Occupying the lane to your left, coming towards you. We're on a 2-lane road.
Okay.
To your right is a mother and 6 small children in a one of those buggy things that you push kids in. What's it called? A stroller.
Stroller. Yep.
Okay, she's got a baby in a stroller. She's out for a walk, with her kids.
Yeah.
Now that driver that is minding their own business, this guy swerves into their lane. They not only have a decision to make, they find themselves in a moral dilemma as well. Because to live, they swerve to the right, but they obviously kill a mother and all of her children.
Right.
If they swerve to the left, they certainly die because it is an 18-wheel truck that's much bigger than their vehicle, and they're going to die. If they stay in the lane, there's going to be an impact, but possible survival. You just have to make the decision. You don't know. A computer cannot make those calculations for you. because there is no morality in a computer. There is no moral responsibility to not hit those children.
So you're saying the computer's probably going to pick path of
Hit the
least
children.
resistance and go, yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's not, and unless everybody's driving a self-driving car, because, okay, if everyone is in a self-driving car,
Mhm.
then all the cars stop instantly.
This still doesn't solve the situation if there are people on the side of the road, though.
Yeah, because what happens is they all slam on the brakes right where they are.
But I feel like that would cause more problems than fix problems.
Now, all the cars stop. Every time somebody does that, it stops all. You see what self-driving cars, the dilemma it causes?
I don't know if it's an accurate. I'm not sure if that's how it works. Surely the computer can run an algorithm, right? This is how I imagine it, okay? I imagine the computer runs an algorithm, and it takes not the path of least resistance for the car, but the path of least the path of least likelihood of injury. So it would limit the number of injuries. So to me, in your scenario, it takes the collision from the front because the computer calculates that.
There's too much liability in that.
Well, certainly there's a lot of liability, which is why it's not happening at this moment. I mean,
And why it's not going to happen, because GM just chose to drive me head on into a Ford product. So now I'm going to sue both.
well, surely you know what you're getting into if you buy a self-driving car, though. And
yeah,
there will be you have an option to take control. There's still a steering wheel and brakes and.
Yeah, you need to throw your self-driving car away along with your Prius.
Your self-driving Prius?
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's not going to happen. So let's move on to the next topic, because self-driving cars is just ridiculous. I know somebody on some podcast back before the Wright brothers said it was ridiculous to fly too, but I'm just saying.
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So what you got?
Let's see what we got. Speaking of collisions or wrecks, did you see where the plane, passenger plane, was trying to land in Turkey, and went off the runway? They apparently overran the runway, and landed. The front end crashed onto the runway, but the back end was still in the air. So they go off the side, and the nose of the plane was literally a few feet away from the Black Sea. So they almost
hanging off the cliff.
Yeah. And no one was hurt. Seriously. I mean, some people were obviously banged up. It's a plane crash, but no one died. No one was seriously injured.
Hey, speaking of this,
Yeah.
you know Sully, the guy from the movie?
Yeah.
The movie, I think it's called Sully.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter works at my daughter's college.
Okay.
I just thought it was cool. Has nothing to do with the story.
That is cool. When you said Sully, I immediately thought of Monsters Inc.
Inc. That's Sully.
Not the pilot.
As far as I know, Sully's not dating anybody. He doesn't have children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But, I was thinking about this plane crash. It's a plane crash. Everybody's okay. So, that's pretty much the end of that story. But I was thinking about, I guess it made me think of things that I'm like overly afraid of. And I think I'm not usually worried about a plane crash like out of the air, I guess, like during flight. But landing is obviously like pretty difficult process, even with all the electronics and the instruments and stuff, pilot still has to land the plane, right? And
right.
A number of things could go on, especially if it's raining or it's windy or whatever. And you see these, have you ever watched the compilation videos where they show all these different takeoffs and landing, scares and that kind of stuff? I've watched I've watched some of those, and like the ones about the cruise ships when they like almost capsize and stuff like that. I was just thinking about like how crazy it is that this stuff doesn't happen more often. When we pack so many people into a, metal contraption, whether it be a plane or a cruise ship, and you kind of give, going back to your self-driving car thing, we're putting a lot of trust in that these instruments work and that the crew handles everything correctly. I'm surprised we don't have stories like this, and I'm sure there are lots of them, but I'm surprised we don't have stories like this from Turkey. Well, not just from Turkey, but plane crashes all the time.
I was on a Southwest flight.
Yeah, sorry.
And the stewardess comes on, or flight attendant. I'm sorry, I think that's the proper flight attendant.
Yeah,
comes on. She says, "Hey guys, we've got somebody celebrating their 80th birthday, and this is also their very first flight.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please join with me and let's sing Happy Birthday?"
Yeah.
To this person. So we start singing Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Sure.
Happy birthday, dear. And she says, "Captain, happy birthday to you."
Captain.
And she times it, and the guy comes on the speaker and says, "Okay, guys, buckle up. We're going to give this landing thing a try today." It was great.
Oh, wow.
The place just erupted into laughter.
Oh, I bet.
It's
funny until that's serious.
There was a person offended, though, at the humor.
Of course.
And, because
would it really be
humor
if somebody wasn't offended, though?
No, it wouldn't be.
I mean, is that really comedy if someone's not offended?
Right. Speaking of being offended.
Sure.
The Justice Department.
Yes.
Or the State Department. I'm sorry, not the Justice Department. The State Department.
Yes.
Basically has Americans can now fly to North Korea.
Okay.
Okay, you can go now.
Okay.
But this is what they say. They released this announcement that if you choose to go to North Korea,
mm-hmm.
you need to make sure that you have your funeral arrangements made and your last will and testament in order.
Wow.
Yeah. That's serious business right there, man.
Yeah, I mean, so you basically, well, that's always alarming when you get that kind of response from the State Department, because there's literally no certainty that you ever come back from that. Why would you want to go, though? I mean, what are you going to do?
Well, I guess what my thinking is, with the Olympics being in South Korea,
uh-huh.
they're just like prepping all of the Americans that are going over for the Olympics
mm-hmm.
to say, "Hey guys, listen, don't just think I just want to drive over to North Korea and see how bad it is." Because as Americans, sometimes we have this idea that things are not as bad as they are,
mm-hmm.
and that how could just driving just over the line really make a difference?
Right.
I mean, because here, does it really make a difference if you dip from Georgia over into South Carolina? Not really.
No.
Does it really make a difference if you dip over into Canada? Not really. If you dip over into Mexico for a few minutes, does it really matter?
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I think they're trying to scare people that if you dip over into North Korea for just a minute, you're probably going to come back dead.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking there.
Yeah.
Is that, it's shock value.
I think that makes sense. That's a pretty good tactic to keep people alive.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to keep people alive.
Right.
I think that's what the State Department's thinking. So we're going to issue this shocking statement.
Yeah.
To all of the people. Because, I mean, let's face it. You got some people, like, what's the swimmer's name? Ryan, what's his name? Lochte.
Yeah.
Ryan Lochte. I mean, if he's going to go over and watch the Olympics, that joker's going to try to sneak over to North Korea just to say he did it.
Yeah, probably. Probably so.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Phelps probably just going to swim down the coast.
Right. He'll just end up there on accident. He just forgot to stop swimming.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think there's some of that going on too. But listen, it's serious business. Let's just add all these things together. There's a secret meeting.
Yes.
There is a false alarm in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
There's a false alarm in, did you say Japan?
Japan, yep.
In Japan. There's this cryptic travel alert issued by the State Department.
Mm.
Things are bad with North Korea.
Yeah.
They're bad.
Yeah, they are.
And listen, something's got to be done. Something needs to be done. More than's being done right now. Or there's going to be a lot of people that end up dead or at least electrified,
mm-hmm.
glowing in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy's going to shoot somebody with a nuke.
You just think it's inevitable at this point?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's inevitable. But I do have a possible remedy.
Okay.
What we should do is send over Peter Madsen. This guy named Peter Madsen. He's an inventor.
Madsen?
Madsen.
Okay.
Madsen. Okay. Yep. We should send him over to North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
In his submarine that he invented, and invite Kim Jong-un to get on the submarine and go for a ride.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, talk about this, because this is really interesting.
Yeah, this Peter Madsen guy, mm-hmm. He's an inventor. He's Danish. And this reporter wanted to do a story on this submarine that he invented and that he's driving around. Kim Wall is her name.
Okay.
So she gets on the submarine, and nobody hears from her.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" So they question the guy, and because somewhere along the lines in this this trip that he took, his submarine sank. He had to be rescued.
Yeah, okay.
Because his submarine sank.
It sank.
It sank.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean it just went under like it's supposed to.
Right. So it sank in the wrong way.
Yeah. Catastrophic.
A bad sink.
Problem. A bad sink. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that submarines are supposed to sink.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want
it's a funny sentence. And you said a minute ago, you said the submarine, he's driving around like he's just casually cruising around in this submarine.
Well, yeah, he was.
Which is a ridiculous thing already, but okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so nobody hears from her. He's rescued, and he says, "Oh yeah, here's the deal, guys. The hatch accidentally released and fell. The hatch weighed like 800 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Hit her in the head, cracked her skull, exposed her brain to oxygen. She died. I couldn't get her out when the submarine sank."
Mm.
We're like, oh no, what a terrible. So a couple of days later, a torso washes up on the beach.
Right. We covered this before, didn't we?
Yeah. No, I didn't say body. A torso.
Torso, just a torso.
Yeah, so it washes up on the body. No head, no arms. It's her.
Yeah.
DNA sample. It's her. Okay, so then they start looking for the rest of her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they find her head and her arms and her legs
mm-hmm.
in bags sunk to the bottom of this bay. Oh, so gosh. being the thorough investigators that they are,
mm-hmm.
because after all, he said, hey, the hatch hit her in the head.
Right.
It was an accidental death.
Right.
They take the head out of the bag and they examine the head.
Mm-hmm.
And they come to the conclusion that there was no head trauma. Now, first of all, her head is cut off.
Exactly.
So I mean, the sub's sinking, and he's thinking, I can't get her out here. Let me part her out so she's not as heavy.
Uh-huh.
Let me get her into some manageable pieces. Is this what he's thinking while his submarine is sinking?
I don't know.
Okay. So they find the arms and the legs and the head. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they have now this happened months ago.
Right. Yeah. When we talked about this, I remember you bringing it up.
Yeah.
This was some time ago.
They have just decided that they have enough evidence to charge him with a crime.
Just now?
Yeah. But listen to this.
Okay.
It wasn't the fact that she was on the submarine.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the fact that he was the last one to be seen with her. It wasn't the fact that she had his DNA under the fingernails of her severed hands on her severed arms.
Right.
It wasn't the fact that he lied multiple times. It wasn't the fact that they had a torso and head, arms, and legs packaged in separate packaging, sunk to the bottom of the ocean. The contributing factor to his arrest was they confiscated his laptop,
Mm-hmm.
and they found a video that he watched of a woman being tortured and mutilated.
So it's like they weren't sure if he was interested in doing something like this till they looked at his internet search history.
Yeah, until they found the video. Now listen, she's cut up in pieces on your submarine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have enough evidence to charge you for a crime.
Like, weren't they the only two on the submarine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the only two on the submarine. It's not like a military sub.
Yeah, we're talking about a small sub.
Little
This is a little
personal
sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What in the world? Listen, I just want if I'm ever going to kill somebody, I want a Danish investigator investigating me.
Yeah.
Because that's going to give me plenty of time to make it to a non-extradition country.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is he stayed around and got arrested.
I mean, he's just
They
really
went to his
dumb.
house and picked him up. He didn't even try to hide.
Is he
I don't know
just
what's crazier.
has he just accepted his fate, or is he just really, really dumb? He can't be
I
that
don't
dumb,
know.
though. I mean, he invented a submarine.
Right.
Huh.
But he dismembered somebody, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And speaking
Anyway.
of not quite dismembered, but bodily injury.
Yes.
So there's a story out of London. You know I love London.
London, England?
England, yep. Yep.
Or
Not
London,
not New
Texas.
Jersey or whatever
Okay.
the other one is. Yeah, London, England. So there was a case on Monday, yesterday, who this guy had to sneeze, okay? And he didn't want it to be a loud sneeze, so he held his nose and closed his mouth as he sneezed, right?
Uh-huh.
And he had a popping sensation. His neck swole up, and he was unable to swallow properly, so he went to the hospital. So
Okay.
it turns out that as he tried to stifle the sneeze, he blew a hole in his throat.
What?
Yes. So this doctor at London's University Hospital said that when you sneeze, air comes out of you at about 150 miles per hour. So when you try to bottle all that up, the pressure has to go somewhere, and it happened to rupture this guy's throat, and he was in the hospital for like a week
What?
just for a sneeze. I'm sure you've tried to hold in a sneeze before, right? When it was like inappropriate to be loud.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and normally you get that. It sounds funny sometimes, but it's less. It's less disturbing as a regular sneeze.
Right.
And I've heard the old thing about the reason your eyes close when you sneeze, they pop out of your head. And I don't know how much truth there is to that one, but apparently if you hold in a sneeze, you can blow a hole in your throat. So they say, this doctor has recommended that you just sneeze loud because it's the safest thing you can do. Even if it's not the most polite, it is the safest. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree that it's the safest without even doing any research.
yeah, so I mean, if you're listening and you're worried about your sneezes being too loud, you're just going to have to embrace it because you don't want to do that. You don't want to spend a week in the hospital over that.
Right.
Come on.
Hey, I want to do one thing. Hold on just a second. There's going to be some background noise for just a second. But I've just been thinking about something. Mute me. I've been thinking about something. I need to bring somebody else online because you said something that's just really I need clarification on, and I have the expert here. So
Okay.
on
Mute you for a
location. So mute me for a second.
Yep. Yeah, you're good. But I'm still on, so everybody, I don't know how long Chief is going to take, but as this happens, I'm going to talk a little bit about. There's a lot of background noise. I'm glad you guys can't hear that. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. Hey, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. So
okay, so Chief is back. So what you got for me?
okay, I just wanted to. I went back and got our Kardashian specialist because I've really been worried about this thing that you said.
What did I say? Remind me.
About the possibility of what really went down here.
Okay.
Who the surrogate really was.
Oh yeah, the most important conspiracy of the year
of
so
everything
far.
we've talked about. Yeah, this is of all the things that we talked about: thermonuclear war, dismembered submarine passengers. This is the one that worried me the most.
Yeah, this one.
So I'm gonna. So I want you to. I'm gonna put you back on the line with our Kardashian expert, and I want you to ask the question to her. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I heard this rumor today that it's possible that the surrogate mother, since we don't know who it is, right? But it's come out that it's possible that it was Kylie Jenner.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because she supposedly went into labor a few days ago, but then that came out as false. But then, I'm just saying, it's kind of weird that a couple days later, Kim and Kanye have their baby. Just
right.
Odd coincidence.
And let me say this. Travis Scott, who was supposedly the father, when asked about the baby, said, "What pregnancy? There's no baby."
What?
But now, yes, that has been, he did say that in an interview. So, with that in account, either they're hiding it really well. She has not even been out of the house, okay, since she's been pregnant. Since she's been showing, she has not been out of the house. And Travis denying all baby-like rumors. Either they're hiding it really, really well, or it could be a possibility, because I thought of that also.
I didn't know that about Travis Scott, so now I'm on board with the conspiracy. I think it's definitely Kylie.
I mean, she has never, ever confirmed yet that she's pregnant. Yep. And she's done everything she can to stay inside the house, but yet everybody says she is pregnant because people that seen her see baby bump. She's really big. I mean, she's like gone quiet on social media. Everything is flashback pictures. She hasn't put a current picture in about 4 months.
Wow.
So that's very interesting.
Yeah,
that you share the same conspiracy theory. However, if Kylie shows up with a baby, we'll be wrong.
I guess. I guess so. Well, I guess it remains to be seen. But I'm on board with that conspiracy. I think more so than any of the others we've talked about today.
Yeah, I'm kind of am too. So here you go. Here's Steve.
Okay, so here's the deal. If that's the case, and we've already talked about the family wreath that is the Kardashians.
Sure.
What in the world does that do to the family dynamic?
I mean, at this point, is there a dynamic to mess up at this point?
No, there's no dynamic. There's only dysfunction. There's no dynamic. It's just dysfunction. But is she aunt? Is she mom? Is she sister? Is she surrogate? Is she sister-in-law? Or is she mistress?
I feel like that's something you just don't tell the kid, ever.
No, you don't ever tell the kid that.
You just always let the kid think that mom had me normally, you just don't share that information.
Right. You train that child from a very early age. There's this television show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
And it's all fake.
It was terrible about us. It was fake. You never watch that show. And you block it off of all possibility of ever coming on cable at your home.
Man, can you imagine?
Throw away all the pictures. Yeah, I mean, this is your granddad mom.
Oh, I know. Your granddad mom.
I mean, yeah. So, you know what? I think that leaving our audience to ponder the depth of this dysfunctional reality.
Yeah,
it's probably the best case we could end Third Thoughts.
Probably is good. It's been a fun week. It's been interesting, and I'm excited. This actually worked really
Oh,
well.
wait! More breaking news.
Okay.
Kylie was also missing from the Christmas card.
Oh, well, that seals the deal for me.
Every single family
Sealed the deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this worked really good, Chief. The calling.
You
was
heard
nice.
it. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first on Third Thoughts, the podcast. Listen, it's been fun being with you, Chief. Thanks for being on the Skype. The Skype.
The Skype, just like the rap.
Yes, the rap music, the Skype phone, the Skype phone.
The Facebook.
I want to leave you pondering the Jenner-Kardashian situation if you didn't have anything better to do. But make sure you also don't buy Bitcoin because it's down 42%. So
I call that one.
There's the PSA for the week from Third Thoughts. Remember, every Tuesday we are live at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You can jump on Spreaker and listen. If you want to leave us a review either on Spreaker or iTunes or Google Play or wherever you like to listen, that helps us out greatly in terms of us getting more views and listens. So please do so. If you'd like to get to the Patreon, it's patreon.com/thirdpodcast. Listen, we'll be back in the morning with Third and Long. We're going to be talking some sports. We're going to have to get creative because college football is over. But it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. Join us tomorrow, 9 a.m. and every Wednesday. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next week.
We're out.